Hi everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my whole house clean with me. If you've not yet watched part 1, I will leave a link in the top right hand corner now for you to go and take a look at that. Today we're going to be cleaning my kitchen, the shower room and my daughter's room. As you can tell, it's another room that is upside down and completely untidy and messy. We have recently just got rid of our shed which covered the whole of the back garden, so we've got a lot of stuff just piling up in here. It's a lot of tidying again and then cleaning first. Because the kitchen is quite large, it can be quite overwhelming when it comes to knowing where to start when it comes to cleaning, but I always tend to start over here on top of the cooker and just make sure this whole area is tidied and cleaned. Then I move on to the island, and I always start by the sink and then work my way down. After using the Dettol, I then remembered that I had a mix of Soflora and water, which I'm now going to use on the worktops. I'm going to give the kettle a clean, the Google Home thing a clean, and all around the baby appliances. There's only a few dishes in the sink, it's mainly bottles, but I'm going to give them a clean just so that I can give the sink a good clean as well. It's time to do the back of the kitchen. This is where the high chairs sit, and this is where we currently have some washing that's out, but that can be put away today. So I'm going to start by cleaning the high chairs with my Dettol spray. I've only got the one to clean because it's only Alfie who's in a high chair. Pollyanna sits on the big stools with us, so he is now in Pollyanna's high chair. And then I'm going to start folding away some laundry and taking it upstairs into the rooms. I won't put it away, I'll do that later on. Over here we've got some shelving units that have to go into the shed and be put up so they can go straight out there. I've then got some things I need to label and send back to the post office, so I'm going to label them and then put them under the pushchair and then put away some of the towels that are hanging up on the radiators. It's then time to start hoovering, and I feel like I hoover this kitchen floor so much. Because it's white, it shows up every crumb, and we obviously have a dog, so it shows up all the dog hair, so I probably try to hoover this at least 2 or 3 times a day, and I think it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to do it properly, because I also go in with the mop afterwards. I also like to clean the bottom of the high chairs. They have these kind of things, I think it's to protect the floor from scratching, but they get so dirty and they collect so much dust, so I always like to clean them at least once a week. Then it feels like the end is near. When I get the mop out, I feel like I'm almost done, so I'm using my By-Leader 2-in-1 spray mop, and I've just filled this with some water and some Soflora inside, a capful of Soflora, and then fill the rest up with water. And as always, my little helper has come to help me. She's got her own little cleaning set, and she's just come down with her little mop to help clean. She gets really frustrated sometimes if I'm cleaning a mark off the floor. She'll go, "No, mummy, my turn, my turn." duster, I go into all the corners. I noticed a few cobwebs in some of these, and just dust the cobwebs away. I then give the skirting boards a quick dust, and I realise I should have done this before hoovering, but I'll remember to do that next time. And then today I'm also going to give the skylight a real good dust, because people always look up and look through it, and there's nothing worse than having cobwebs or spiders. We've currently got a cobweb with a fly caught in it, which is horrendous. And then using my Sephora and water mix, I'm going to spray and wipe down every single cupboard in the kitchen. I then sometimes forget, but under where the stools go, this can get quite dirty because obviously we have a dog and Pollyanna sometimes drops food, but I noticed some marks on it, so I'm going to give that a good wipe. Using a cloth, I like to get into the corners as well and give them a wipe, because no matter whether it's the hoover or the mop, you can never really get into those deep corners. And then throw that in the washing machine so that can have a good clean. I'll put all of the cloths that I use in the same washing machine. And there you have it, a tidy and clean kitchen. I did forget to do the lights, but that is something I will come back to next time. Next room we have is the shower room. Now the water really builds up on this shower screen, so this should get done probably once every week. Pollyanna's fingerprints when she's brushing her teeth is just hideous on this mirror. I'm going to have to start telling her not to touch the mirror, but at the time it doesn't really bother me. I just like that she's brushing her teeth well. So I'm just going to give it a good clean again and another good tidy. Adam's been out on the jet ski, so his wetsuit's there, and tidy up these shampoos and conditioners. I'm sure there's probably one or two that's empty, and just make sure there's no marks on anything that is silver. So as always, I'm going to start by taking absolutely everything out of the room. So everything that's on the sink, everything that's in the windowsills, everything that's on the floor and on the towel rails. Gave the bath mat a really good shake and just look at all the bits that comes off it, and then that goes straight in the wash, and then the floor will be hoovered. First things first, I'm going to go in with the Viakill and spray this on everything that is silver and leave it for 5 minutes while I'm doing other things. I also spray this on both sides of the shower screen, and it works wonders on getting all of that tough dirt and lime scale off. I'm then going to use the Dettol bathroom spray. I'm going to spray all over the sink, all over the toilet, inside and out, and all over the shower tray. Also sprayed it inside the windowsill and on all of the walls. When it comes to wiping down the sink, I use a Minky inspired cloth. I use the rough bit to it's great for getting off toothpaste and hard stuck stains. And then when I've done that, I go over with a microfiber cloth just to make it look shiny and get any excess water that's on the sink. I also noticed that we have a blockage in the sink, so that's something I'm going to have to get sorted ASAP. And then onto the toilet, I have a completely different, sorry if you can hear Blue, he's with me, he's snoring in the background, that's our dog. I always use a completely different cloth for the outside and the inside because of the germs. So I always start from the outside because that's not where the wee goes. And then I go to the inside. Finish off with Harpic White and Shine, and it really does leave your toilets looking whiter than what they were in the beginning. I'm then going to give the windowsill a wipe down and do the same for the shower taps and the shower head, and then give it a rinse with some water after. Then do the exact same thing with the shower tray, giving it a real good scrub on the edges because that's where the muck kind of builds up, and then giving it a rinse with the water to let any excess dirt or bits that have come off wash away. And then I also lift out the plug and give that a little clean as well. That had a good clean less than 2 weeks ago, so I don't need to do that today. I'll wipe all of the shiny surfaces with a microfiber cloth to leave them looking nice and shiny. I'll use the same cloth to wipe the shower screen. I'll start on the inside and then do the outside, and I normally do it at least twice on each side. And then once I'm happy with it, I give it a rinse with the shower. And then the most satisfying part, the grubby hands on the mirrors are disappearing. So I use white vinegar on all of my mirrors in the house and just kitchen roll. And while I was up there cleaning the mirror, I noticed that the air vent needed a good dust, so I made sure I got into all of the little holes and got rid of all the dust there. I had the duster out, I thought I would just give the windowsill a quick dust and in the corners again, and then I used white vinegar on the windows to give them a clean. But I noticed that it hasn't done the best job, so I probably should get back to that with something a little bit better for windows. And then the last job, which is always the radiators. So I use the Dettol foam spray again, just on a microfiber cloth, and then I do each radiator rail separately. Then it's time to put everything back in the place. The artificial plant that is on the windowsill, I also give that a wipe down with the shower. I said the radiators were the last job, but I was lying. I hoovered again, and then I cleaned the floor with the Dettol spray again, which works absolutely wonderful. Sometimes I use the mop, but I didn't again today. I got down on my knees and just wanted to give it a good scrub. And there you have it, room number 5 done. If you watched part 1 and this is now part 2, this is the 5th room that I have cleaned in the house. And then on to the last room for this video. It's going to be Pollyanna's nursery. Well, it's no longer a nursery, it's actually just her bedroom now. I'm going to save Alfie's nursery for a deep clean nursery cleaning video kind of thing. And also he was sleeping at the time, so I didn't want to go in and disturb him. So Pollyanna's room is mainly just a tidy up and a dust and cleaning the blinds and things like that. She's currently laying on her bed doing colouring on her iPad, so I'm going to work around her and not make the bed today. And then by this point, Pollyanna had actually fallen asleep, which she never does. She never naps. She had woken up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I really think she needed it. And I think just watching me cleaning and just being laying on her bed, which we never really do, she just went off to another land. I'm going to give her shelves a little dust. These have been neglected lately. I think they've got to go. I don't really style them very well. Nothing really, they're not very useful really. So I think she just needs like one big shelf with a few decent things on rather than these two. These worked so well when we had like the Scandi nursery, but that is obviously no more. The driftwood has gone. Dust always collects around the bottom of these drawers, around her bed and on the handles, so I'm going to give that a really good dust and then get on to the blinds. And that's it, the final room is done. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for 2 to 3 videos a week. Lots of cleaning and family and fashion videos.